Well, hello and welcome. Guess what? I am so excited because I am getting ready for a party. Do you guys like parties? I enjoy having a party because you know that it is a very special week, isn't it? Yep, there's a holiday this week. And so when there's a holiday, you have to celebrate the holidays. And do you know what holiday it is? I'm gonna give you some clues. I am wearing red. I'm all dressed up in red. That's a good thing. And I've got some decorations. Yep, I've got my decorations ready. See, I've got some napkins and I've got some decorations. So that's great. And I have my box to collect my candy because this week we're going to collect some candy. So I've got my box for candy collection because that's good. That's important. And today's theme is love. So I bet I know what holiday it is. Do you guys know what holiday it is? Do you think that I think that it's probably Valentine's Day. Don't you think it's probably Valentine's Day? Am I wrong? Am I a little bit off? Let me check my calendar. Oh boy. My calendar says it's October. So that means that it's probably not Valentine's Day, is it? Well, why would we be talking about love when it's not Valentine's Day? That's confusing because that's about the only time that I ever really remember us talking a whole lot about love, and today's whole theme is love. Well, do you think that maybe we're talking about love right now because we're supposed to think about loving each other all year round? And perhaps maybe that is one of the biggest commandments that God gave us, is to love each other. One of my very favorite Bible verses comes from Deuteronomy, and it says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And keep these words that I am commanding you today in your heart." And we're supposed to keep them in our heart. So really having hearts around us all year round is probably a good thing because it helps us remember how much we're supposed to love God and to love all of our friends and our neighbors and everybody around us. Well, there's always lots of good things to learn about love. And our world friends today are having quite the time trying to figure out this whole love thing. So let's check to see what they're up to. All right.
We saved a spot for you. Otto? Otto! Otto!
Oh, hi, Ada.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, just spending some time with God since I am part of God's family, like Pastor Donna said today. God and I will be hanging out all the time now. Yeah, me and God. God and me.
Okay. Well, we'll see you later then.
What? Oh, yeah, maybe. Sorry, I'm going back to praying now.
Oh, we need one more player to have even teams.
I can play on both teams. I'll just run back and forth and back and forth
Otto!
and forth and back.
Come play kickball with us. We need one more person.
Sorry, Ada. I'm busy hanging out with God. I'm pretty holy now, since we spent the whole morning together. Basically, we're best friends now.
You can still play kickball with us, though.
No way. Everyone knows you have to spend all of your time with your best friend. Otherwise, they're not your best friend anymore.
I don't think that's how it works.
Coach, I gotta sit this one out.
Even. Yes, Tot. Now the teams are even.
All right, Lord. Now I'm going to memorize some hymns. Because I love you.
A little help, Otto!
Can't help memorizing hymns.
Help, please.
Tot, come on. I'm busy.
Ugh.
Still busy hanging out with God, Tot.
Help, please.
Tot, I said, whoa! Oh! I'm sorry, God. I'll be right back. Aha!
Again.
Oy.
Otto, you saved Tot.
Yeah, but I ran out on God in the middle of a hymn.
God would have loved what you just did.
Really?
Yeah. Jesus said that we're not supposed to only love God. We're supposed to love all of God's family. That's how we show our love for God. Weren't you paying attention in Sunday school?
No, I was already hanging out with God in the back of class. It's where the cool kids sit.
Well, cool kid. Come play kickball with us.
All right. But I'm pretty sure God wants me to be all-time catcher.
Oh my goodness, Otto sure was spending a lot of time with God, wasn't he? Well, you know, spending time with God is a really good thing. But do you think that Otto was kind of maybe ignoring some of his friends and maybe hurting some people's feelings in the process? Yeah, I think so. And I think God wants us to love God and to spend time with God. But I think that the other part of the commandment is that we're supposed to love our neighbor. Was Otto loving his neighbor? I don't really think so, because Tot was pleading for help. And Otto was just ignoring her. And then thankfully at the last minute he paid attention and he went and he saved her from getting a big owie, didn't he? So our lesson today is all about love and learning to love God and to love our neighbor. Our story is called Rule Number 1, and it's found in the book of Matthew, chapters 22, verses 34 through 36. Let's read that together. Rule number 1. The Pharisees spent a lot of time learning about God's law. They were always testing Jesus with hard questions. But why? Maybe the Pharisees wanted to prove they knew the most about God. Maybe they wanted to get Jesus in trouble for saying the wrong thing. Maybe some wanted to follow Jesus, but only if he agreed with them about God's law. Jesus was teaching a crowd of Pharisees and scribes in the temple. A Pharisee who was a lawyer stood bravely in front of Jesus. The lawyer wanted to ask him an important question about God's law. Jesus, the lawyer asked, which of God's rules is number 1? Well, I'll give you 2 answers, Jesus said. First, love God with 3 parts of yourself: your heart, your soul, and your mind. Next, Jesus added, love your neighbor, every neighbor, the way you love yourself. One of the scribes jumped up from the crowd. He rushed to stand in front of Jesus. Loving God and each other is number 1. Love is the most important of all God's rules. Jesus smiled because the scribe understood. After that, no one asked Jesus any more tricky questions. So what was the number 1 rule? To love God and to love your neighbor. So the rule actually has 2 parts to it, doesn't it? Do you have rules that are hanging around, like on the wall at school? Or do you have rules at your house? I think all of us have lots of rules that we're supposed to follow. And when the Pharisees knew that the Bible had lots and lots of rules in it, and they were really good about kind of judging people about how well they followed the rules, and if they didn't follow a rule exactly the right way, they could go and say, you're not following the rule the right way. And so they were asking Jesus about those rules and maybe trying to trick him a little bit to see which one he would point out. But Jesus didn't really answer it that way. He actually gave 2 answers. And he said, love God with your whole self, your whole being, your heart, your mind, your soul, with your strength, and love your neighbor. What might happen if we forget to love God and to love others? What would happen? Well, Otto was remembering to love God, wasn't he? But he was forgetting to love others. And in the process, he was hurting his friend's feelings, and Tot really could have actually gotten hurt pretty badly if he hadn't paid any attention to Tot. And if we follow God's rule to love our neighbors as ourselves, just think of all the things in this world that could be so much better. We'd probably talk nicer to each other. If you're loving somebody, you're not yelling at them. We'd probably share our stuff better with each other. We'd include each other when we're playing games. There's lots of things. We'd share our things with each other. And we probably wouldn't hurt each other so much, would we? Yeah. So I think that God knew what he was doing when he made his rule number 1. Okay, moms and dads, just a quick reminder that this Wednesday night, October 28th, from 6:30 to 7:30, we're going to have trunk or treat in the parking lot. Kids, you can bring along your candy collecting devices that might be orange instead of pink and red, but we'll have lots of good treats for you to collect that evening. And you can wear your costumes. We are asking that everybody wear your mask. So wear your mask so that we can love our neighbors. And in the meantime, today, your leaflets that you're going to fill out are called The Greatest Commandment. So have a good week, and I hope to see you Wednesday night. Take care.